Today's video is going to be about how to protect yourself from malware on the AUR, how to know what to download, what not to download, what is real, what is not real. It's all sort of a juggling act where learning these things is not really common knowledge or involves common sense. It's sort of a, I like you, I'm going to install you, and I'm going to hope for the best. Back in my day, malware was not an issue on the AUR, but ever since Arch became ridiculously popular due to Valve, a lot of things have changed, and I'm not sure they've changed for the better. So if we go to packages, notice there's Paru, there's Yay. You don't have to grab those from the AUR. First and foremost, you will always beforehand check to make sure that that there's a package available. Like, let's go to Google's. All right. And if we search Paru, okay, Paru Arch, we can basically go here and we can confirm there's an installation. So what do? Well, you copy and paste this into the terminal. I know that may seem a little bit archaic, but safety first. This is it. You just copy and paste this in. It will grab everything it needs. It will compile it in real time. And that's literally it. You're done. I'm not even joking. That's how simple and easy it is. If you want to grab a pre-made package of Paru, you can use the chaotic AUR. But again, there is lots of packages on here that are verified. And it's easy to verify them. So that's what we're going to do. Let's start with Brave Bin, because that one is a bit odd to be here. So if you look here, brave.com, upstream a URL, right? There it is. You could just, it's legit. You can tell it's legit because of where it comes from. And it's not even that. You can just view this, quick and simple. This is everything required to grab it, install it, and that's all. All right, so what does it grab? The sources it grabs are the x86 zip, okay? And as you can see, that's this right here. It grabs the certain package version and it downloads it. So this is directly from Brave's own releases. So that's one way that you can tell that it's legit, if it comes from the actual source of the repository itself. And it's not asking for anything suspicious. You could tell because of the depends and everything else, the conflicts. There's nothing freaky going on. Okay? And that's a very easy way to tell. Let me just install this because I wanted to overwrite it. So there you go. That's one way. You can choose that way. Same thing with, let's say, Zen Browser. Let's go take a look at Zen Browser. View package source. Currently, these are out of date as new versions have been released, but they'll be updated soon. As you can see, it comes directly from the Zen Browser GitHub. All right. And who is this submitted by, actually? Contributed to Lewis Vente. Package base. Yep, comes straight from here. You have to look at what you're seeing. You have to understand that a non-complicated version of this, again, we're back to, I believe, Brave, is that it doesn't try to inject anything. It doesn't try to install anything out of the ordinary. It's not trying to bring any external packages using kernel or anything weird like that. Curl, sorry. It's just straightforward. Grabs it, installs it, creates some stuff for it. So it puts it in /user/bin. That's where it goes. It basically installs the Brave browser.desktop, which is the shortcut that you need. It installs the licensing, and that's all it does. And there's the icons. Simple. And I know this may seem complicated at first, but once you get used to this, your brain's going to instantly snap into it and realize, yeah, that package is good. Same with Vestop right here. If we click this, I know it's from Vestop. That's great. That works, right? We go in here, we view this, we take a look at everything. Oh my God, that email. Jesus Christ. So this is from Sophia Lima, or Lama. I don't know how to say her name, but there you go. Package name, Vestop-bin, so on and so forth, cross-platform. This is the ULR. It doesn't install anything sketchy. It grabs debug gedit and electron. That's all it needs to grab. And then, of course, the other depends are optional in case you wanted advanced support. And once again, all it does is install the package. It installs the, oh, look at that. The app.asr into /op. That's normal. It creates everything it needs in here. So that's the .desktop. It adds the icons and you're good to go. Now, a lot of other packages are much more complicated than this. Some can definitely be, and others not so much. It's just, you really have to be careful with what you do. Let's go find some sketchy packages, shall we? So for this, I'm going to be using Yay. Zed. Let's check out Zed. Why would you grab Zed from the freaking AUR? Okay, look at this. For some reason, it's still in the AUR somewhere, where it was at one point. Why would you grab it from the AUR when the package is right there? It doesn't, don't do that. If you see it's in the extra repo, there you go. It's in the extra repo. Grab it from there. Don't grab it from anywhere else. Okay? If you see that there's an optimized version of Zed in here, inside the CacheOS repos, grab it from there instead. But you don't need to. You could just grab it from the extra repo. Safety first. Okay. Same thing with this. Extension manager. It's in the extra repo. So this is pointless. Don't ever touch this. This shouldn't even be here. This needs to be removed. Because the GNOME not the GNOME developers, the developers of Arch decided, hey, I'm going to just throw this in the extra repos because it's one of the most used things for GNOME. It makes their life easy. It gives them everything they need. So then there's no point in using this. Why do you need the Git version for? The current version will support GNOME 51 and above. GNOME 51's in beta right now. So you're good. You don't need this. Because what it does is it checks the version number and it just compares the version number to the extensions that are currently out. It helps protect you from installing extensions that are outdated. So again, not necessary to grab. And I got a few more examples, hopefully. Like, let's say OBS. Now, there are some reasons to grab OBS from the AUR. One, the CacheOS's version of OBS is not very good. Okay. I'd rather grab it from Flatpak, to be honest. The regular version that's in the extra repos is bare bones. All right. And if we go up, you'll notice that there's some stuff in here. A lot of libraries. So there's Liberty, free, open source, blah, 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 without the need to install FFmpeg OBS. Okay. And there's an advanced screen switcher. There's hotkeys. There's tons of stuff that you can end up grabbing. But then we get into the out-of-date stuff. 106 days without an update. It's marked as out of date, meaning it has a new update, but no one's updated. There's compositive blur. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know about that one. I kind of want that one. There's tons of stuff that you can grab, but you have to make sure that what you're grabbing, okay, is legit. So can we just like open this link? Look at this. You can right click and open link. Brings you directly here. So I once upon a time actually did use GNOME's screencast. It was fantastic. It solved a lot of latency and lag issues, but currently to this date, don't touch it. Simple as that. Don't bother. I don't believe it's being worked on anymore. No, it's been archived. So if it's archived and dead, it should be removed. Ugh, ignore that. Someone posted that, and yeah. Is there a way that we can report this? Probably have to be logged in, don't we? So if anybody's currently logged in, report issue here, right? And have it removed. So we can go here like this. Oh no, it's one of those. Oh, GitLab, go fuck yourself. But again, report anything out of date, report anything suspicious. Look, to protect yourself, it's as simple as this. Check the date. Then do yourself a favor and open the link. This was last updated in 2026-05-21. Great. Click here. Let's check it out. Okay, those are actually legit sources. Skipping the some checks for some reason. Shouldn't do that. That's weird. I don't see anything suspicious in this at all. Oh, I know it's probably weird, but if you really want to, you can ask Grok if something is suspicious or not. Completely serious. Because Grok knows about the whole AUR incident. It has several resources that it has bookmarked that it's allowed to check. So when you feed it in, it will go over it and be like, nope, nothing wrong here. And if we'll find something, to be like, report that right now. So again, sometimes certain AIs can be helpful. Bing, on the other hand, Copilot is bad at this. Try to remember this. Another thing I just wanted to tell you real quick is that this one right here is legit and can be trusted because he is one of the developers of OBS, and he has his own version of OBS, so he can be trusted. And if you end up going to his actual right here, like, he's a developer and he's done things. I wonder which profile is his. Oh, this guy right here is the biggest dickbag in the world. No offense to him, but he's just rude. Anytime someone reports an issue, because you're supposed to report problems, there he is. What he would do is he would just belittle the hell out of you until he could reproduce the issue, because he thinks OBS is perfect, and I don't really like that. Front end, auto release. I'm just looking at some stuff real quick. Ooh, calculation in AMF. Fix broken PayPal link. Is there anything related to Wayland? Because we're all waiting on some Wayland stuff. Global hotkeys. Yes, thank you. Add global hotkeys. Wicked. All right. With that, thank you guys for watching. Look, be as safe as you can. Learn to compile things. I'm going to be honest with you. Learning to compile things is difficult. But the last thing I'm going to tell you is use Shelly. Just use Shelly. It has an AUR scanner in it, apparently. So if you could use Shelly, that would probably keep you a little more safe as well. Weird. There's no hover still. But yeah, Shelly has an AUR scanner, so if a package is bad, it will probably scan it during the installation and like flag it. Like if we search Vestop, my bad. If we search Vestop, we go after the bin, we do the installation, build from AUR, password, authenticate. Look at that. Security scan completed. No issues found. Confirm. 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 That is cool. But again, learning to check the package yourself is always the best method. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to support this channel if you can. Check the description. I'll see you guys next time.